3 mistakes that I see fishermen make when it comes to saving money on fishing tackle. This video is not going to be jackhammer or thunder cricket. Nah, we're going to give you real scenarios how to keep your baits in the best condition possible. Don't do dumb things that just waste tackle, and know where to buy this stuff at the right time. So let's start off with that. Online retailers or tackle stores, they both have their place. Now, if you're going to a lake, you're traveling to somewhere else to fish, and it's nothing like the lake that you fish, spending $300 on lures that aren't going to work on your lake is not a good way to save money. I get it, online retailers, you get a better price, but if you're buying a bunch of stuff you're never going to use, you're not saving any money. Make yourself a pre-approved budget with a list of baits that are staples. You're always going to use them, doesn't matter where you're at. And if it's not on that list, don't buy it. I like line, hooks, tungsten, those types of things because tackle stores tend to mark those up more than anything else. Now, when you get to the lake, that's when you buy stuff for that lake. You don't know what you're going to use until you get there. Even if you think you have an idea, the conditions change, things change. It's never what you think. So wait till you get to the lake to buy your tackle. And then don't worry about saving pennies. You're investing in yourself. That's the mega million. You're investing in your week of doing well in a tournament or having a great time. Don't worry about pennies then. The next thing is take care of your baits. One example, the frog. It's one of the most expensive baits and one of the most fragile. This happens when you leave it in a box and it gets too hot and it melts. So what I do, little cornstarch right out of the pantry, just sprinkle that right into your box. It's not going to mess your hooks up, and that's just going to keep those legs from sticking together. You can use this same trick on jig skirts. That real small rubber material will not stick together and melt with some cornstarch in there. The next thorn in my side has been treble hooks and trying to keep them from dulling or rusting. So what I do is when I buy a box of treble hooks, I will just stick a cotton ball right there in the middle of all the hooks. That's going to keep those hooks from rubbing up against each other, and it's also going to keep any moisture from getting in there, causing your hooks to rust. Metal on metal makes it dull, and moisture is going to make it rust. So cotton ball. The last, one of the most expensive items for fishing tackle is line. Fluorocarbon, we pay about $1 for every 10 yards. So do not waste any of it. Use backing. If you don't know what backing is, it's just line that goes on the bottom of your spool. It will never see the light of day. You will never get to that knot. Put about 20 yards of just cheap monofilament on there or braid, something that will just stay in the bottom of the spool. You'll never have to worry about it. Then put your fluorocarbon over that or put your braid over that. But again, that will never see the light of the day. You won't ever even get to that knot, about 20 yards. The next thing I do is I have all my reels designed to where when I take the line off of this reel and put it onto this reel, it's the exact amount because of the backing is relatively the same in all my reels. So I have it written down in a book that this has 15-pound fluorocarbon on it that I put on 3 months ago. So I will take the line off this reel and put it on this reel because all that line that's been on the bottom, that is still good line. It never got wet. It wasn't going through grass or going around wood. There's no abrasion on it. So let that line get a use on another reel. Reel it off this reel right onto this reel. After I use it for a couple months on that reel, then I'll throw it away. But use the entire line because a lot of that line, it's just in the air, if it's even in the air, but most of the time it stays on the spool. So backing that and then recycle that line, use it again. And the last trick would be to never buy a spool of less than 200 yards. Those 200-yard spools you're going to use 3 or 4 times, and then you're going to have about 20 yards that just stays on the spool that you throw away. Don't do that. Buy spools that are 600 yards, 1,000 yards. You will get your money back. It is a good investment. If you have line that you've been using for 5 or 10 years, buy 2,000 yards. You will get your money back. So those are a few things, help you save some money. Don't make mistakes. This can be an expensive sport, but try to make it as affordable as possible.